Hey, good evening, folks. Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, MLive here. A severe weather update for you. We do have a tornado watch that covers about the western, a little more than the western half of lower Michigan. And let's get right on into it because we're starting to get our first severe thunderstorm warnings. So right now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for 4 counties. You can see the line of severe storms starting to come on shore. So Ottawa County to Muskegon County to Oceana and Mason counties under the severe thunderstorm warning until 10:45. It's going to be with you, just very shortly on the shoreline. The Weather Service is saying that we could have wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour in this line of storms and penny-size hail. Let's go in and look at it a little bit closer with the radar. And I was seeing a few moments ago, I was seeing some rotation and I was seeing some strong winds. We could pick out where the strongest part of the storm is going. So remember, when you see the red, it's wind toward the Grand Rapids radar. You see that little blank circle in the bottom right of the screen. That's the radar at the National Weather Service and in Grand Rapids. Robert Myers on the chat here. And folks, you can talk to me if you want. Will this hold to Southeast Michigan? Yes, we'll look at that in just a bit here. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. We're expecting some pretty nasty severe storms. Okay, now, remember, red is wind toward the radar. Green is wind away from the... No, I'm sorry. Red is wind away from the radar. Green is wind toward the radar. So what you're seeing there off the coast of Grand Haven and Norton Shores and all of Muskegon and to near Whitehall, you're seeing a wind burst. That is the strong wind gust heading on shore. And that's where the winds could gust to 60 miles an hour. We've had up to 2¼ inch hail in Wisconsin, so this thing can produce some large hail. And of course, you can always get rotations on these and produce tornadoes. So that's why we actually had the tornado watch issued versus a severe thunderstorm watch, because not that tornadoes are more likely than severe thunderstorm damage in this case, but they are likely as a possible outcome. So the winds, the wind speeds now showing here 58 miles an hour or so. This can be just starting to come down to the ground. So certainly a 60 mile an hour wind gust is very imminent in the next couple of minutes for Muskegon Heights, Norton Shores, Fruitport, Grand Haven, maybe north of Port Sheldon, and moving toward the northeast. You see the storm tracks on this? That shows you the motion of the storms. Let's go back to the regular radar. And so you see these centroids of the storms off to the west of Grand Haven and Norton Shores, moving northeast. Hail size 1.5 inches, and moving northeast, so it would be heading toward Dalton at around 9:43, and then up into toward Hesperia toward 10 o'clock. So all of these moving toward the east-northeast. Now, let's back out. So if you're in this line of storms, and now the severe thunderstorm watch warnings have been extended up through Ludington, up through Manistee County by the National Weather Service in Gaylord. And what we're expecting to happen, I'll show you this to you in just a moment here. Okay, now we got a tornado warning just issued. Let's see what the Weather Service is saying about that. Looks like it's for Muskegon County. So let's see. Tornado warning issued for northern Ottawa County, southwestern Newaygo County, and all of Muskegon County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located 10 miles west of Grand Haven. That's what we've just been looking at, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. Tornado and quarter-size hail is possible. And, of course, we've already talked about the 70-mile-an-hour winds. They may be ramping that up. So if you, let's see, some of the cities: Muskegon, Roosevelt Park, 940. Muskegon Heights, North Muskegon, around 945. Also Grand Haven, Grant, and Newaygo. Let's go back to it just for a minute here, see if we can find any rotation. And this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Okay, you can see a very strong signature of a wind gust coming in here just off the coast of Grand Haven, Ferrysburg, Norton Shores, Muskegon, Muskegon Heights, even North Muskegon. You're not in the heart of it. It looks like it's heading, barreling right toward the Grand Haven area. Tornado warning in effect. Actually, yes, Grand Haven is actually officially in the tornado warning as well. Let me put this on there. So now you're seeing the winds being reported up around 79 miles an hour. Bear in mind, the radar is at Grand Rapids, southeast of Grand Rapids. So that's up at, 5,000-10,000 feet. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an 80-mile-an-hour gust, but it is very close. Good morning, or good evening, Charles Bryan, watching Clare County. Eris Suzuki. Good evening, Amy Keller. Jackie B watching from Luzerne. I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna be with you a while. I thought maybe I was gonna come on and give you just a brief overview update, and then later on continue with severe weather coverage, but here we are in it. So let's get familiar with some things here, since we are going to maybe be together for a while this evening. Let's get familiar with the radar. I'm going to show you, obviously you know what the radar looks like, but I'll show you velocity and storm relative velocity. Sometimes the storm relative velocity shows up better than the regular velocity. Velocity is the whole thing. Storm relative backs out the motion of the storm. Sometimes we can see things more clearly. Either way, now we're seeing the wind gusts, the stronger wind gusts more clearly just on the straight velocity mode. Okay, so we're getting ready. We do have a tornado warning in effect for the northern part of Ottawa County and most of Muskegon County. So Grand Haven, Norton Shores, get ready. You're about ready to have this move onshore. Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with an MLive severe weather update. Eric Swanson, yes, Traverse City will get hit. You're probably Manistee County in a severe thunderstorm warning now. You're probably an hour or so away in the Traverse City area. And Jerry Zeminski, you're right in the path of this thing between Grand Rapids and Big Rapids, and it's about 15 minutes to a half hour away for you. And as we look at this velocity, you can see that it's just about, now the winds are getting stronger. Again, doesn't mean that those are actual surface winds, but in this case with the instability, they probably will mix down to the ground pretty close to that. We're seeing a 90 mile an hour return, 89. This is off the coast of Grand Haven. So Grand Haven, you are under the tornado warning, Grand Haven. I would be in the middle part of your house, the safest part of your house. Put the most walls between you and the outside. If you have a basement, go to that now because it's probably only less than 5 minutes away. Thanks for joining me on this MLive severe weather update. This is meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. If you're just joining us, you're not familiar with us, this is how we cover severe weather at MLive. And I'll be here with you through the evening hours. So tornado watch in effect until 3 a.m. for the western half of the state, as this was highly anticipated. There's your wind gust you could see just off the coast of Grand Haven. This is the most severe part of the storm right now, this section right here. And as I set it into motion, kind of focus on that, you can see that it's moving just about due east, ready to head on into the Grand Haven area. And as you see the darker blues show up, that means that the wind is increasing. Just about on shore at Grand Haven now. Looks like your strongest returns now are up to 93 miles an hour. So certainly a 70 mile an hour wind, probably. Because bear in mind, this is looking at maybe 10,000 feet up. So some of that's got to come down toward the ground. Hey, good evening, Sharon Frank. Jordan Thompson, yes, you should be pretty safe in Alpena. You may get a 2, 3 in the morning wake-up call, but you should be out of the severe weather there. About ready to head into Grand Haven with the severe line. They have a tornado warning for this, mostly because of the significant severe thunderstorm or severe wind threat. And there you can see it. The highest I can find now is 92.9, 93 miles an hour. So I would suggest that you probably are looking at least at a 70 or 80 mile an hour gust. Grand Haven, Ferrisburg, Norton Shores, you get up here, 70 miles an hour. So this area from south of Norton Shores through Grand Haven and halfway between Grand Haven and Port Shelton. So you're going to want to be taking cover. Jake, Grand Haven, is there a tornado? There is a tornado warning, and there is quite a severe wind gust heading your way, perhaps up to 80 miles an hour. So Jake, you should be taking cover in the middle part of your house or in the basement. And then once it's safe, let us know what happened. Winky, is there a tornado touchdown? Just a warning right now, and it's mostly based on this big, strong downburst wind that is showing up on the radar. Again, 90 mile an hour gusts just off the surface. Jerry Zeminski, you said between Grand Rapids and Big Rapids, you could have 70 mile an hour winds. We'll have to see what this thing does once it comes on shore. Should I worry living in White Cloud? White Cloud, White Cloud. Oh, let's see. Let me take a look there. And this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, trying to keep you updated on the severe weather here. White cloud, yeah, it would be there within about a half hour or so. So you should be concerned in the white cloud area. All right, let's see here. Weather Service saying significant wind core about to move into Ottawa, Muskegon counties. We've been watching that. Will the pocket of high winds stay north of Grand Rapids? Well, it's moving east, northeast, and it's showing up very clearly. Grand Haven, Fruitport, Norton Shores, right at Grand Haven and Fruitport, you're about ready to have a very high wind gust. A weather service saying big hail producer. It's having trouble getting to a steady state meso, but it's trying. Alrighty, let's see here. So there's Grand Haven, right there. Ferrysburg, Fruitport. Sorry, folks, I'm from the east side of the state and spend a lot of time in Traverse City, so I don't know all of these places all across the state. And now we're seeing a 100-mile-an-hour signature. So this is definitely increasing in strength. And as it gets closer to the radar, it's getting a little bit lower, so it's getting to be more ground truth, but very strong wind signature. So I'm going to say at least an 80-mile-an-hour wind is coming toward Grand Haven, Ferrysburg, and that area along the shore at Fruitport. We'll just have to see how long it goes when it comes in. I talked about this earlier. What we have is what we call a triple point. So the warm front has moved northward in these storm areas, all of our area. You'll notice how humid it is. Warm front has moved northward. Now the cold front is coming to that, and this area just south of that is where these storms are, and they are expected to move east across the state. And normally we would be talking right now about weakening storms, but never say never and never say always, or in weather. And so the dynamics of this and the fact that we had full sunshine today and the humidity wedge has continued to make it up in there means that it looks like the storms will stay strong through the rest of the second half of the evening and through the first half of the overnight. That's why the tornado watch is in effect until 3 a.m. So what we're watching now is we're watching the wind signature off of the Doppler radar set in motion, and we can get an idea for how big this burst of wind is. Okay, now coming on shore at Grand Haven, fanning out a little bit. The red area is where you have a tornado warning in effect. I don't see a tornado there, but they do this because the straight line winds are so widespread. Will they move the tornado watch east to Genesee County? Have to see how it goes in the next couple of hours. Okay, I'm reading some of the comments here. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. So we've covered Grand Haven. You should be in your basement right now. Fruitport, Coopersville, Sullivan, Ravenna, all of those in the tornado warning because of the straight line winds heading your way. Let's back out and see what else we can see. Now there's just a signature here that has just popped up. And the green next to the red here off the shore could be a rotation developing. And note that the radar here has put a tornado vortex signature. Doesn't necessarily mean that it has a tornado with it, but we can track that system and back out and see where it would head to. So that would be heading toward the Port Sheldon area. We may see a tornado warning extended down into that region here real shortly. And then as it moves northeast, it would be heading toward Coopersville at about 10:40-ish and Allendale at 10:25. Back out some more, and let's go back to the regular look of the radar so you can see what's going on. So here we are. We have a line of severe storms all the way from, this looks like it would be Benzie County. Yes. Severe storms about ready to come on shore there. Not as severe, but we do have a little bit of, okay, so we don't see a rotation. We don't see anywhere near the wind signature that we do with the Grand Haven storm. Let's work our way down the line. So the storms are now hitting Ludington, Manistee. You're officially under a severe thunderstorm warning. That might be a 60-mile-an-hour wind or something like that. And then we go southward through Pentwater, Shelby. That's the line of storms. But you can see the bow echo developing here. You can see how it's shaped like this. That means that the upper level winds are mixing down and making this segment move faster, and that's what produces the winds. And then we watch on the south side of that, we watch for rotations. That's where the individual storms with rotation and tornadoes can develop. And this is where, one of the warm fronts is right now. So there's interaction here of southeasterly winds. So this whole area we're going to be watching, Grand Rapids, all the way as everything tracks toward the east across this region, toward the Lansing area, toward Kalamazoo. This is another hour or so before it's to Lansing, and then it appears that the models show it lasting quite a while, but typically it's just about a 3-hour jaunt across the state. Let's go back to our tornadic storm here, or our tornado warned storm, I should say. Put the velocity mode again. And so the wind right now bearing down on Grand Haven. And we've got 96, 95, 98 at Ferrisburg. So we probably have at least a 70 to 80 mile an hour gust, and that will be, looks tracking to the east. If we take this corridor here, you're anywhere in this region here, you can have very damaging wind gusts. About 80 miles an hour is when numerous trees start to come down. 60 miles an hour, a dead tree or a dead branch comes down. 70 miles an hour, you start to get several trees down. And 80 miles an hour, you start to get fairly widespread damage. Blaine Cantrell, I'm also concerned about Kalamazoo. Let's look at Kalamazoo. Let's see here what we have going on. There's our next thing to watch here is a rotation off of the lake. Remember, red wind away from the Grand Rapids radar, which is right over here. And green is wind towards. So you get something like this, and it kind of signifies that you have some wind blowing away and some wind blowing toward, and that's where you would have a rotation. But for now, tornado warning continues. Tornado warning continues for northern Ottawa, southwestern Newaygo, Muskegon County till 10:15. They really have not updated this much since they issued it. Let me see if we're getting any information. Weather Service says they're prepping Kenton County. Okay, Kenton County and Kent County and Newaygo County now under a severe thunderstorm warning for wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour and penny-size hail. Obviously, we're seeing that wind. So there you go. What the Weather Service is saying now is that this, bear with me a second, I got a couple of things going on my screen. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Welcome to the MLive Severe Weather Update here. The main thing that we're tracking right now is this tornado warning for a widespread, strong, straight line wind event. They can have mini tornadoes in them, but the main thing is that they just want to get your attention. And now what they've said is that they're going to continue the tornado warning as a severe thunderstorm warning for Kent County as this area right here moves toward Sparta, Cedar Springs, Rockford, Plainfield, Northview, Walker, Wright. So those of you in the path of this, get ready for up to an 80-mile-an-hour wind gust. And that's going to be very shortly here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Put it in motion for you. We're watching the dark blue. And yes, you see it start to lower some. That's pretty typical that it hits the shoreline the strongest and then slows a touch. You also, if you can see at the bottom of the screen, the very bottom, you can see a rotation developing, and this is what we would call a mesocyclone. So this one we will have to watch for possible tornadic development when it comes on shore, interacts with the warmer air. A lot of these are masked over the lake, I would imagine right now, because of the cold water over the lake. And then they'll actually do the opposite. A lot of people have been asking, will these die over the lake and then be done? That happens a lot. But these are actually gonna increase as they come on shore because the instability is there more. Okay, Grand Haven now out of the tornado warning, but the eastern parts of that county still under the tornado warning and still for the straight line winds that appear to be fanning out into a bigger, not quite as strong wind. Let's see, any other reports here? All right, now, while we're at it, let's give everybody a good update of what's going to happen. Let's do that kind of quickly. We do have the tornado warning in effect for part of Ottawa County, part of Muskegon County. Okay. Now, somebody was asking about Kalamazoo. You are about, half hour from the line of severe storms. We will watch this thing down around South Bend as it moves northeast. That would have the shear to become tornadic. And then I just want to give you an idea of what this high resolution rapid refresh model shows us. Trying to update, of course, you know, we pay for internet, but you never get it quite as fast as. So that is 11 o'clock. It's showing that the storms are quite strong around Kalamazoo, heading toward Lansing. Then okay, so there's 11 o'clock. There's midnight. Lansing to Jackson to Mount Pleasant through the Traverse City area, approaching the southeast. This is 1 o'clock in the morning and appear to be still strong and severe in the southeast, but maybe weakening. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it's done. So that's why the tornado watch in effect until 3 o'clock. And if you get a look at this, you can kind of see that it peaks between now and midnight and then starts to weaken on the eastern half of the state. Still could be severe, but probably down from the high end. Mount Pleasant, cats are outside. No, get the cats inside. Thunder, lightning, rain, and wind. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't see the model. I'm sorry. Thank you, folks. All right, let's look at it again. So this is 11 o'clock. This is the look at 11 o'clock. Midnight. 1 a.m. 2 a.m. So Lansing, Jackson, midnight or so, severe weather. And then 1 a.m. into the Saginaw area, into the southeast, into Ann Arbor. And it appears to be weakening at that point and probably will somewhat. 2 a.m. and then 3 a.m. it's done. I don't know if this is going to load for me, but I'm wondering about tomorrow because there's an upper level system. I think we could get back into severe weather tomorrow. Not like this, but a hail producer. This is tomorrow evening. Cold air aloft comes through, and I've seen it on the second day. Vigorous thunderstorms with hail possible. So let's just be cognizant of that. All right, now we got a new tornado warning. Lake County severe coming out, 70 miles an hour. Report of 80 mile an hour winds at Roosevelt Park, Muskegon County. New tornado warning coming out. Here it is. Let's see. Tornado warning for northwest Allegan County, southern Ottawa County until 10:45. At 10:02, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Holland State Park, 7 miles west of downtown Holland, moving east at 30. Could have tornadoes and quarter-size hail. Radar indicated rotation is why they're issuing this. And the dangerous storm will be near Holland. Let's see. The dangerous tornado will be near Holland and Beechwood and Holland State Park around 10:05. And then Z Rapids will get tornadoes. Well, that tornado warning to the west of Grand Rapids is heading that way. Let's go back to the radar. Hey, this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. MLive Severe Weather Update for you. We have 2 tornado warnings in effect. 1 tornado warning in Muskegon County, northern Ottawa County. That's for straight line winds. We've seen them on radar up over 90 miles an hour. We're thinking that's probably 80 mile an hour gust at the ground. And now an 80 mile an hour gust has been reported. Now a tornado warning in effect southwest of the Grand Rapids area. And I'll be with you here until I can't. So let's go back to the radar and let's look at that new tornado warning. Okay, so here's Grand Rapids. Here's the tornado warning area. If you're anywhere in that, Port Sheldon, Holland, Zeeland, Hudsonville, you should be taking cover, moving in the safest part of your home. Tyler Dent, yes, Holland is under the tornado warning for a radar indicating rotation. And some of this won't matter if it's a tornado because we're in the situation where we have straight line winds. Let's look at the velocity to see if we can pick out where there may be a rotation, what they're seeing on the radar. And you can see it just off the shore here. So this is showing up very clearly as a rotating area right here. West side of Holland, Port Sheldon. Remember, we're getting pretty close to the radar now, so we're close to seeing actual ground truth. This is probably, I'm guessing, 2,000-3,000 feet up in the air, as opposed to if it's way out from the radar, 10,000-15,000 feet in the air. So that is the area of concern right here. And it appears to be moving the tracking system on the radar is working pretty good. So it's moving toward the northeast. Now we have a tornado vortex signature right on the centroid. So we get a good track of this. And there you can see. So here's Holland. Here's Beechwood. It looks like it would be heading in this area between Holland, Beechwood, Zeeland, Port Sheldon, and 1014, wherever this is, in the county. And then 1029 up here. So over the next half hour, this system will track. It appears as though it may be actually forming a tornado. When we see this right here, we call that a dropout gate. The radar doesn't know whether the wind is blowing to or away from the radar, so it doesn't put anything in there, and that's usually the center of the circulation. Sirens in Hudsonville, yeah, that makes sense. Hearing tornado sirens in Alto, but I don't see a warning. Back out. Now, somebody asked about Grand Rapids. So on this track right now of this, coming like this, it would come to the northwest side of the Grand Rapids area. And I talked about this earlier today. I wrote a post. Even the models were showing this triple point developing. So there's a warm front draped across this area, and that's where the spin is maximized. Mark, wondering how quickly rotations will form in the 10 to 14% hatched area. It doesn't matter if you're in the hatched area or not. They're talking about, the hatched area means you could have strong tornadoes. The rotations develop wherever very quickly. Let's take a look here. And that rotation has broken down. They're continuing the tornado warning. Heading into Zeeland right now and into Hudsonville. And I don't know how to say the name of that town. By Fillmore. So 2 tornado warnings. There's our wind gust, wind burst. It appears to be diminishing and now around Coopersville. Remember, that's the one that we saw 80 to maybe 90 or more mile an hour as it hits shoreline. And Coopersville is right in it at the moment. See if we can get some wind speeds. Still showing 60 miles an hour, so definitely down from what it was. We'll take that, certainly, won't we? And then we have the tornado warning here. Let me read the copy for you. Northwestern Allegan County, southern Ottawa County till 10:45. And it's a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. A radar has been indicating rotation. And pretty nasty line of storms. All the way along the shoreline.
You're talking to me?
No, I'm talking to everybody on air. So, pretty nasty line of storms right now. 2 tornado warnings and another tornado warning just issued for that Bow Echo. Let's see what we got here. Tornado warning for northern Kent County. So north of the Grand Rapids area. And this is going to cover that straight line wind burst that's moving through. Northern Kent County, southeastern Newaygo County, northwestern Montcalm County until 10:45. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage. Located in a line from Newaygo to near Sparta, moving east at 50 miles an hour. Newaygo and Sparta around 10:15. Howard City around 10:25. So this is a case where the National Weather Service will very well issue tornado warnings for straight line winds, because the straight line winds can be excessive, like we saw 80 mile an hour wind already reported, and they want you to take it seriously. We get so many severe thunderstorm warnings in Michigan. We don't always take them seriously. So a lot of times they'll put a tornado warning out for a significant severe thunderstorm. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, and we'll just continue here. 871 of us strong. Winky, I'm good in Muskegon now. Yes, it is past Muskegon. You are good there. Cheyenne Cody, yeah, James Spann out of Alabama. Let's see. I'm in Jackson area. Should I stay awake? Jackson, you're probably an hour or two away from this. Very, very easy to see that we're going to see this move all across the state. Right now, what we're focusing on is the bend of the Bow Echo. And that often signifies the upper level winds are the strongest, and so it pushes these thunderstorms fastest. And when that wind comes down to the ground, it's the strongest. That's what hit around Grand Haven. I do believe we'll see some damage around the Grand Haven area based on that wind speed. Autumn Wanzi in Grand Haven. How was it in Grand Haven? Yes, it is. It's just about to move out of the Grand Haven area. Brady Furnace, Mount Pleasant. It's heading, that part of the Bow Echo is heading toward Mount Pleasant. So I'm going to say it's going to be not as strong as along the shoreline, but it could be severe 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts. I think we're going to start to see everything transfer to the south as far as the energy goes. So we have 2 tornado warnings in effect right now. See if we get any reports. Oh, let's see. Lake Michigan shoreline at 10:03 had a 68 mile an hour gust. Now another. Okay, so we got the tornado warning for northern Kent County, southeastern Newaygo County, and northwestern Montcalm County. That is this tornado warning right here. It's had extensive straight line winds with it, with gusts at least 80 miles an hour. Then our second tornado warning right now is here in Ottawa and northern Allegan County. And let's put the velocity on it. Okay, so it looks like the straight line winds are starting to increase in speed and heading toward Grand Rapids. So Grand Rapids, get ready for a burst of wind. You are under the severe thunderstorm warning for up to 80 mile an hour gusts. Let's see if we can pick out what the gusts are doing here in this tornado warned storm. 64 miles an hour. There's a 77. There's a 78. So there's Port Sheldon. There's Zeeland, Holland, 79. About 80 miles an hour. 79 miles an hour is the strongest we're finding in there. And just kind of watch that blue, that light blue, and see where it's tracking. It's heading pretty well straight for the southern part of Kent County, straight toward all of the Grand Rapids area. So here in the next 15 minutes or so, you'll be having strong wind gusts there. And there's your triple point right there. You can see it clearly. Notice the leading thunderstorms moving straight from the south, while the other thunderstorms along the line are moving from the west. I wrote about this earlier. Right here. Here's the warm front. Here's the cold front. Right, and here's your triple point, and no surprise, that's where storms rotate and can produce tornadoes. Let's see. Maria Krug, Grand Rapids off 3 Mile. Patio furniture is still outside. You better go get it. Brad, what about Lansing? Okay, good question. What about Lansing? This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. We are tracking the severe storms, and every time we back out and look at the big picture, the line looks a little more interesting. It looks like we're starting to get little notches in the southern end of it, which is kind of what we anticipated. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center had this southern part of the state. Remember, I wrote about this earlier, an odd shape of a black hatched area in here where they had a 10% chance of strong tornadoes. That's because of the shear going on south of that warm front. And you can see how some of these storms are more like separated supercells. And then you go northward and it's more of a straight line wind event with the bow echo. So the 2 tornado warnings, one up here heading towards Sand Lake, Cedar Springs, into Kent City now, into Sparta. That's a straight line wind event, and the tornado warning is issued for that. You can see it moving through, and you do see little rotations on the leading edge of that. That's often why they issue the tornado warnings in this kind of situation. Then we slide down here, tornado warning for Zeeland and Hudsonville. And somebody was asking about Lansing. So yeah, Lansing's going to get into it within an hour, I would say, something like that. Let's check our reports, see what we got here. Grand Haven State Park could gust to 54. Don't know about the Pure, they're saying. Severe thunderstorm warning now from Mecosta County for 70-mile-an-hour winds possible. Let's see if we're getting anything out of the Detroit area. We're not. Northern Indiana. They cover the far southern part of Michigan. Looks like nothing out of northern Indiana just yet. So the Grand Rapids National Weather Service is putting out all the warnings at the moment. 70-mile-an-hour gust reported 2 miles west of Grand Haven. And I had seen somebody that reported an 80-mile-an-hour gust. Now, let's see if I can get us a new run of that high-resolution rapid refresh. That's why we like it, is because it's the top severe weather forecasting model in the world, I would say. Okay, they're in the Amazon warehouse in Caledonia. Wise idea. Incredibly slow on the loading of things. What we find in severe weather is that all the weather fanatics come out. They start to use the websites, and the websites bog down. So here is that model that I was talking about. This is the high resolution rapid refresh. It's done great. It's done absolutely fantastic for the last 24 to 36 hours. Raining buckets in Hudsonville, sounding sirens again. Yeah, you're right in the line. So here's the latest. This would be 11 o'clock. It might be a little slow, so let's call this 11 o'clock. Approaching Lansing, Eaton Rapids, Charlotte, southwest corner, Big Rapids, approaching Traverse City. Let's call this midnight. And still a large area of thunderstorms, possibly severe still. This model is really good at showing weakening, and if it's going to weaken, it's still showing them quite strong as they approach Saginaw, approach Ann Arbor, Oakland County at midnight, 1 a.m. into the northeast part of the state, Tawas, Saginaw through Flint, then into Detroit and Ann Arbor, 2 a.m. in the thumb and weakening, and then 3 a.m. and it's done. So there you can see, pretty apparent that we're all going to get a lot of storminess here. Montcalm County, severe thunderstorm warning. Spring Lake Yacht Club, 59 mile an hour gust. All right, so at the moment, we have a solid line of severe thunderstorms. Tornado warnings in effect, northern Kent County, north of the Grand Rapids area. Tornado warning southwest of Grand Rapids for Holland and heading toward Kentwood. That's a nasty, severe storms. Kent County, you're about ready to get quite a bit of very active storminess. If it sounds noisy outside to you, make sure you move to the middle part of your house or basement. This is only a 15-minute to a half-hour storm situation for you. Okay, so pretty apparent what's going on there. What do people have? We got 947 of us on there. How's it going? Was anybody in Grand Haven when that system came through? Is anybody around Sand Lake and Cedar Springs right now and safe and can tell us what's going on? Mackenzie, status for Kazoo. Right now, it doesn't look terrible in Kalamazoo. The storm is to your west and heading there very shortly. Reed Hackworth, what are you predicting for Jackson? Still same predictions as your articles, or is it changing? No, it's about the same. I would say Jackson, it's probably 2 hours away. It's midnight or so. And the models try to indicate kind of pulsing up and pulsing down and pulsing back up in a couple of hours. So normally you hear me talk about weakening at this time of the night, but the models appear to have, think that the dynamics could keep this kind of cycling through. Tyann, Norton Shores, North Grand Haven, storms past. Yeah, I think you were just out of it. Lansing should be into it in about an hour, and you'll be in line for isolated. I like to call everything isolated because even in severe weather, it's isolated. Isolated 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts. Do we see any weakening when it hits Lansing? I'm an anxious person. Cheyenne, I don't see any weakening. Just use common sense. Inside your house is rated, built to stand those kind of things. If you Use common sense. Okay. How fast are these storms moving eastward? Asks Carrie Alice. They are moving east at about 40 miles an hour. Toby Cyrus, yes, that's the deal, is it has plenty of humidity over land to keep it going. Oftentimes we see these strong in Wisconsin and Illinois come across the lake, hit the cold air, and die. Stumble Storm's front porch door whipped open. It was gorilla taped shut for a project. Neil Blake. No major gust yet. Darren Benish. What about Ithaca? Ithaca, probably an hour away. And, really no change in strength anticipated with this line. It will happen at some point. It will start to weaken. The models indicate about 1 a.m. it will start to weaken. And at that point, it's already to Ann Arbor and the Flint area. Newaygo, Monocapovi, Newaygo County and Lake County edge. It's coming through you right now. So it's probably about as bad as it's going to get there. And actually, I have no idea what is happening with my software here because it's picking odd things. Okay, let's see if we can get back to the radar and just continue to watch that. Ashley, fiance, is supposed to be driving home to Genesee County from Sturgis around 3 a.m. Will things be cleared up by then? Yes, 3 a.m. They'll be off of the thumb out into Lake Huron. James, rain picking up fast and wind east. GR. Todd Hollingsworth, Kalamazoo. You're about an hour away from it. Actually, it's getting very close to Kalamazoo now, so you're probably a half hour away from quite a bit of storminess. And let's see. Lacey, Dr. Claire, you're in the tornado watch. Probably about midnight in Clare. Tornado warning east Grand Rapids, says James. Let me check to see if something is coming out. Yes, okay. So we got a new tornado warning just issued. Northeast Allegan County, southern Kent County, northwest Berry County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles. So there you see it just showed up on our radar. That's the new tornado warning that pretty much covers almost all of the Grand Rapids area, southern half of Kent County. Tornado was located 7 miles. Hit the skip button if a commercial comes in there, folks. Let's see. So, a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Wayland. That's in the very, southwest of the Grand Rapids area, and moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. This danger storm will be near Kentwood, Caledonia, and the airport at 10:45. Lowell is also in this path of the storm. Take cover, move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. Let's look at it a little bit closer here with the velocity mode. Okay, so here we go. There's your rotation somewhere down here in this area. So that would be, that would be the northeastern part of Allegan County. Right there around Dorr and Wayland. Very common place I've found to see these rotations develop, tornadoes. And that's moving pretty well northeast. You can see the track. The track from the radar is very good, matching up. This is the track right here, matching up very well. A steep northeast track heading right toward the East Grand Rapids area. And you're looking at the velocity mode. So the brighter blues, those are stronger wind gusts. Let's check our storm relative velocity to see if it shows anything a little clearer, and it does right here around the Dorr area, showing the rotation, and then this is the track forecast of it. And you can see that it appears as though it would track right toward the National Weather Service radar. Michelle, let's see. What about South Line near Ann Arbor? Okay, hold on just a second here. Let's give you a timing for that. Now we also have just a little bit of the leftover remnants of that tornado warning. So, southern half of Kent County, northeast parts of Allegan County, northwest Berry County under the tornado warning right now. Go over here and line up a look. Oh, let's see. The Weather Service is saying possible debris signature over Dorr right now. Let's see if we can see that. Okay, so what you see here, this is the correlation coefficient, and we can see possible debris signatures. And if you notice right there, that little burst of blue that moves northeast, that could be the debris from a tornado. So this was 2 scans ago. And then over Dorr. And now it would be right here, heading toward Caledonia. So that's the correlation coefficient that can sometimes show us the debris signatures. Here's the storm relative velocity. You can again see the rotation here. And then just the regular velocity shows it quite well. Shows two things in Kent County. Possible tornado or somewhere down in here, and then it shows a wider straight line wind event. It's coming in there. So it just looks nasty right now on the west side of Kent County. Hopefully you are taking cover and just staying away from the windows. That's where all the activity is right now, around Grand Rapids, and it will be heading to the east. All right, somebody asked about Ann Arbor, so let me go back. And get you a timing for Ann Arbor. So here's our high resolution rapid refresh model, best severe weather forecasting model in the world. Yes, black dot and black circle is the radar location, the cone of silence, no returns right at the radar. Okay, so 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock. So South Lines in Ann Arbor, midnight to 1 o'clock. And you're in the severe weather risk. You're not actually in the tornado watch. I would say at that time it would be a line of severe thunderstorms. Ride it out, quite stormy, 15 minutes, half hour, and then it would be done. Julia White, let's take a look at the line heading into Kalamazoo. Back to the radar. Jermaine, Petoskey, you will get, you're under the tornado watch. I would say you're going to get, possible severe thunderstorms. Kalamazoo. Okay, we're working on Kalamazoo right now, and we just had an additional tornado warning issued just north of Kalamazoo. So here comes the storms into Kalamazoo, but now a new tornado warning for southeastern Allegan and Berry County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is showing up in that region. Oh, all kinds of locations. Hastings, Nashville, Banfield, Prairieville, Pine Lake, Lacey, Otsego, Martin, Delton, Gun Lake, Hickory Corners, Shelbyville, Plainwell, Orangeville, Bradley, Yankee Springs, Dowling, Coverdale, all in the new tornado warning. And I can see that the rotation starting to develop. So Kalamazoo, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. It at the moment does not look really too terrible for Kalamazoo compared to what you have. Someone's on here is indicating Kalamazoo tornado warning. Let me see if that is the case or not. So no Now they're saying tornado signature over Martin. Caledonia has the tornado threat. All right, let's get into the radar here. So, folks, Kalamazoo, you're about ready to have the severe thunderstorm come through. Let's take a look at the velocities, see if we see anything ominous. We do. We see a downburst developing in Kalamazoo County on the west side of Kalamazoo. Bells tolling, saying tornado on the ground in Martin. So that would be right there. And that makes sense. You can see it's developed. So right here, there's Watson, there's Plainwell, heading toward Orangeville. This is, the tracking system has been working really well, so it's moving at a northeast clip. Tornado showing up on the radar. Let's see. And it's quite a storm system there. Using regular velocity, tornado shows up also. So let's back out. So we know we got a tornado probably here. Just trying to keep you updated here. Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with MLive. Thanks for sticking with me. 1,000 strong. Here's her popping big time in Wyoming. That is eerie when that happens. Definitely very eerie when that happens. Okay, so here are our 2 tornado warnings. I have it on the velocity mode. You could see that a rotation. There may be a tornado around Caledonia. There's a a downburst coming into Kentwood right now in Kent County. That's showing 72 mile an hour winds. And you see the black dot right here. That's actually the radar. There are no returns around the radar for about a mile. So this is actually near the ground. These wind returns are on the ground, basically. As opposed to a distance out from the radar, I can't guarantee you that it's reaching the ground. Todd Hollingsworth, Kalamazoo is very windy, still on 3rd floor, and it's storming hard. Maria Krug. Yeah, some people find the gentle rain and thunderstorms relaxing. Okay, so remember, Kent County, Grand Rapids, southward, you should be taking cover as this at least wind burst moves through your area. Then we do believe we have a tornado showing up on the radar here. Now east of Martin, heading toward Orangeville. It appears as though that is an authentic rotation tornado. Right there, approaching Orangeville. Orangeville, you should be in your basement if you have one, or in the middle part of your house. I want to see if we can put the correlation coefficient on it and see if we see the debris ball clearly there. back it up. So here's your debris ball around Martin. That was at 10:44. One more frame, 10:47. Debris ball. And now over Orangeville, debris ball at 10:50. So if you live east of Orangeville, then you have a tornado approaching you. So there's your 2 tornado warnings at the moment. And then severe thunderstorms either side of those. And don't think that the storms are weakening because they look like they are. What's happening is the storm is right over the top of the Grand Rapids radar, and it knocks the signal down a little bit. So as it hits the radar, and you can see the radar is right underneath the storms right now, it'll show up a little bit weaker, and then as it moves away from the radar, they'll pick back up with brighter reds. Power flickered, came right back on. Let's see. What's happening in Wyoming and Granville? Asks Pickle Tree. This is the area of concern right now. Wyoming, you're officially under the tornado warning. And there's your wind burst coming through southeast part of Wyoming and through Kentwood, approaching the radar. So this is going to come right at the National Weather Service office. We will actually get they may be taking cover because I haven't heard anything from them since 10:52. All right, now tornado showing clearly east of Caledonia. Can you see it right there? So a tornado has just developed basically right before our eyes. Kristen Taylor. Oh, Northview area. So here's Northview. You're out of the tornado warning. This wind burst is to your south, coming right at the airport. And the main thing that I see now is that a tornado has developed right here. This is, I'm pretty well certain that this is a signature of a developed tornado. There's a storm relative velocity, shows up pretty clearly. We don't get a big wind return, but we certainly get a clear look at a rotation developing. So this may be a tornado just developing. James Wright. We don't know much about tornadoes yet. We usually don't get those reports at night until the next morning. Kelly, Kalamazoo, you're getting the severe storm right now. Todd says crazy windy. All right, let's take a look. Oh yeah, I see why. So remember, we're in the wind mode now. Let me see if the regular velocity looks better. So we're in the wind mode, and Kalamazoo is getting raked right now. This whole gust front. Showing about not showing a terrible wind in Kalamazoo. Here I believe is a rotation developing. This is what we would call a QLCS tornado is probably forming. And that means Cameron Voigt getting debris hitting the windows. Where? Cameron, where? Let us know where, please. I didn't see any other messages for you. Let us know, please. Think it'll weaken by the time it gets to Ann Arbor? I do think it will, some. Cameron Voigt's in Kazoo. Okay. So it is pretty nasty in Kazoo, even though it does not. Well, now we're showing 50 mile an hour winds. You are under the severe thunderstorm warning, straight line winds moving through now. So you're going to be done in just a couple of minutes in Kazoo. And then we are getting these rotations on the front edge of the line. These are what we call QLCS, quasi-linear convective system tornadoes or rotations. One here. Another one here. And the wind burst over the radar right now. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with a continuous coverage of severe weather. If it's the first time you're joining us, we do this. I'm the Chief Meteorologist at MLive. Been there since 2012. Been trying to figure out Mother Nature for 36 years now in the last week or so. 1989. I think I got her figured out. We do have 2 tornado warnings. Southern Kent County, you should be in your basement, middle part of your home. And, if it's not a tornado, it's just a really nasty, severe storm with 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. And then also the tornado warning just to the south of that, where we have seen a debris ball. And then you've got the severe storms into Kalamazoo. Everybody reporting Kalamazoo quite windy. Isabel Elise, hey, first timer. Hello. Please show northern Michigan. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, now we got a new tornado warning. So let me just get you the. All right, I got to pick a different radar so we get an accurate look. So this is out of the Gaylord radar, and Traverse City getting in on the thunderstorms right now. Severe thunderstorm warning for Wexford County. That's the county that Cadillac is in. The storms heading into the Traverse City region look robust. A lot of lightning. Maybe isolated severe gusts, but not really that impressive. Nowhere near as impressive as when we start to slide our way southward. So a severe thunderstorm coming through Canadian Lakes right now through Montcalm County. And then now the tornado warning for southern Kent County has been trimmed to just the southeast. And then a new tornado warning has been issued for northeast Berry County, southern Ionia County, and northwest Eaton County until 11:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage were located near Alto and Freeport, moving east at 45 miles an hour. Locations in the tornado warning include Hastings, Portland, Lake Odessa, Saranac, Freeport, Sunfield, Mulliken, Woodland, Clarksville, and Woodbury. And then the tornado warning in this region. A confirmed tornado at 10:48. A confirmed tornado was located near Martin or 12 miles east of Allegan, moving east at 45. We knew about that. We saw the debris signature. Now a new tornado warning in northeast part of Kalamazoo County. Tom Ramsey in Freeport now. All right, so we just had another tornado warning issued here. Calhoun County and northeastern Kalamazoo County until 11:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line winds. And that's the deal, is if this doesn't produce a tornado, it's got a widespread straight line winds with it. We have the triple point where the rotation is forming well forecasted by our best severe weather model, the high resolution rapid refresh. I highlighted it 6-8 hours ago or more, right in this location. So here's your new tornado warning. Battle Creek and Climax around 11:05. Brownlee Park around 11:10. Marshall around 11:20. Also Albion. All right, now let's take a look at the velocities, see if we can pick out these. This is a good perspective here. This is the regular velocity. I want to check out the storm relative velocity. Okay, we're going to go back to the regular velocity. So what you're seeing is quite a wind burst moving toward Lake Odessa in this tornado warning that's in Ionia County, southern Ionia County, northeastern Berry County, and northwestern Eaton County under the tornado warning. And as you see, let's put the scope on that to see how strong. And then you see the straight line winds rolling through to the south of there into Allegan and Berry counties. And then you see the latest tornado warning for part of Kalamazoo County, northeast, and then Calhoun County. So remember, now here's this blank circle. That's the radar, National Weather Service radar. So we're at pretty much a surface wind also out here by Lowell and Clark's, heading into Clarksville now. 70-mile-an-hour winds, 73-mile-an-hour winds showing up right there. That would be what, right along I-96. And our seems like our tornado magnet in West Michigan, Portland, in the tornado warning right now, but it's a ways away from you, but the straight line winds are approaching. So this gust front here has 50 to 70 mile an hour gusts along it as it rolls down I-96 and heads to Lake Odessa and Woodland. Then we come down here and they're pretty much issuing tornado warnings all along the gust front because you're going to have mini rotations that increase the wind speed and significant straight line winds. Let's see, Brianna. Let's look at downtown. Let's look at downtown Grand Rapids. It's out of the Grand Rapids area now, winding down. You're officially still under a severe thunderstorm warning just for a few more minutes, and then it will be safe for you to come back out of cover. Brianna Vago, 96. Jacqueline, will Southeast Michigan get hit? Yes, in an hour or two. And no sign of it weakening until after 1 in the morning. Just look at that. That's quite a radar, folks. There's quite a lot going on there in weather. There's a lot of shear. So we've actually seen this solid line and straight line winds start to now become more rotating thunderstorms embedded in the solid line. As anticipated, and I guess I gotta say we always take heat. We're always crying wolf. We're always wrong. But I gotta say that most of the time we're spot on. Most of the time, the models, especially these newer high resolution rapid refresh models, are spot on, and they were for the last 2 days. Been warned about this in the exact locations. So let's just stay with it. I got nowhere to go but bed later on. I want you to be safe. Common sense. As these things approach, Dylan 22244, will Holland get hit? Holland is done. Holland has already been through the line of storms, and it's over for Holland. Caden Bailey. What will it look like when it hits St. John's? Oh, let's see, St. John's. It's almost there, and it appears to be fanning out in the St. John's area. I think you just, a really ruckus thunderstorm. Broken system, broken trust. Appreciates the coverage. That's good. Tom Ramsey, how did you fare there? Jack Lynn grew up watching me on WNEM. Thank you, Jack. Skies have a nasty color here in Kalamazoo. You are still in the severe thunderstorm. The brunt of it is, well, depending on where you're at in Kalamazoo, you might be right under it, or it might be just to your east. You're about done in Kalamazoo with the severe weather in the next 10 minutes. We have the 3 tornado warnings in effect. Three tornado warnings in effect there. See if we have any reports. Oh, let's see. Kalamazoo Emergency Management, Gary Runcie says trees down blocking 3 lanes at Nichols Road and Martin Luther King. Winds up to 60 mile an hour, reported by Train Spotter. Kalamazoo reporting a 66 mile an hour wind gust. A lot of 62s. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive severe weather coverage. Just staying with you here, I was in television for a long time. I don't know how long, 20 years, something like that. Yeah, we tried to do continuous coverage, but a lot of the people that wanted to watch their TV show would say get off the air. So the thing about this is, if you're satisfied with what you know about the weather, you can hit click and log off. And if you still want to follow with me, you can hang here with me as I drink a Coke Zero. Earlier, something I hadn't done in quite a while, analyzed a surface map by hand because I wanted to find that triple point. So there's the low pressure center earlier out in Minnesota, and then here's that warm front. That's where all of the severe weather action is right now. So, big picture. Northern Michigan, low end severe storms. Traverse City to Cadillac. Traverse City not severe, just lots of lightning, probably heavy rain. Samantha Smith. Any idea on how it will hit Tuscola County? Probably weakening by then. Probably will be just a, really good sleeping type thunderstorm, more than likely. Hey, Gaines Media is a weather nerd. I'm one too. How about TC, Elizabeth Bonaventura? Just diminishing thunderstorm, I would say. Jeremy Merritt says confirmed tornado in Battle Creek. Let's see if I haven't seen anything like that. Power flashes in Battle Creek now, they're saying. So let's go take a look. at Battle Creek. Under the tornado warning, the gust front is coming through the Battle Creek area right now. Rotations along it, so you can get these swirlies, these gust fronts. Jennifer Martin, grandbaby is in Mount Pleasant. Should they be seeking shelter? They should be inside their home, not outside, and they should be in the interior part of the home. So there is a possible tornado developing there. You see the rotation, maybe even two. This is going to be an interesting situation because Battle Creek looks like it has a rotation with the dropout gate. That's where that little black square says the radar doesn't know which way to go with it. And then also north between between Battle Creek and Bellevue, it looks like there could be another circulation. All of this area under a tornado warning. So here looks like a developing circulation, and here looks like a developing situation. Grand Rapids is saying power flashes. In Battle Creek, Grand Rapids Weather Service, Brandon saying Battle Creek weather instrument gusted to 76 miles per hour at 11:09 before going offline. So all of this area under a continued tornado warning. Calhoun County, tornado warning remains in effect. Tornado producing storms were located along a line extending from near Brownlee Park to near Battle Creek, east of Battle Creek, moving east at 60 miles an hour. This is an update from 4 minutes ago. It'll be in Marshall at around 11:20, so it's heading toward Marshall right now. Tornadoes are extremely difficult to see and confirm at night. Do not wait to see or hear the tornado. Take cover. And that's a very good point. Let's see. Rob Dale, Emergency Manager, Ingham County, reports funnel cloud just southwest of Bellevue, moving northeast. So Calhoun County now, the hot spot for the tornadoes. Then as we go northward, Eaton County under tornado warning until 11:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Let's set this into motion, see if we see rotations. And again, it's a straight line wind event with these little kinks in it. That's where you get rotations. Sometimes they've been called gustnados, where the wind gust starts to rotate and it enhances it a little bit. And then the next tornado warning to the north. Northeastern Berry County, southern Ionia, northwestern Eaton County. And again, straight line wind burst with some rotation. So as the straight line wind comes through, you'll want to move to the interior, middle part of your house. Definitely away from the windows. And with the Velocity mode with the wind mode very apparent is what's happening. About a 3-county north to south length to a damaging line of winds, 60 to 80 miles an hour, probably in that. Radar, doesn't show the magnitude of that wind. It just shows the big conglomerate of thunderstorms. Kalamazoo, you're done. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Owen Bray, Kalamazoo, you are done. It's going to be tapering off here. Will Brooklyn get hit? Yes, Brooklyn will get hit. It looks like in about an hour. So we got 3 tornado warnings active right now. Rockford, you're done. It's all moved out of Kent County, the severe weather that is. Kylie Hutchinson Jackson in line for it next. Oh. Very shortly in the next half hour at Jackson. Do I think he's going to clip Southline or just hit us straight on? I think at some point it's going to start to weaken here soon. Chloe Hicks, Charlotte is blaring, yes. Blaring as far as tornado sirens? I think justified because it's a nasty storm moving through there. Heather Hall, when will it hit Bay City? You're probably looking at about between midnight and 1 o'clock with a diminishing non-severe thunderstorm, I would guess, by there. Christine Shell, Livingston County, in about an hour. Still could be severe. I would think that it would be a little bit less severe than was now, but we got tornado warnings still going. Coalition. Truth Soldier Gaming, what about Genesee County? About an hour away. I would go straight line wind 60 to 70. What about the tail end of this in southwest Michigan? I got a friend in Colon. This is a quick, severe thunderstorm coming through there. Once it reaches Ingham County, how long should it last? Asked Morgan. Probably about 15 minutes, pretty nasty, and then another 45 minutes of rain and thunder and lightning. Going to make it to Saginaw? Yes, but I think as probably non-severe thunderstorms. Ashley, this might sound silly, but will my gardens be okay? I just planted flowers. Probably will. And these vigorous, severe thunderstorms, they can take a beating if it came through your house. But otherwise, thunder and lightning. And guess what's the greatest fertilizer there is? Lightning. It takes the nitrogen in the air and what's the word I'm looking for? Not rarefies, but it ionizes it and makes it available to plants and rains it down. What we will notice is all the leaves came out overnight. You'll wake up tomorrow and you will have trees full of leaves. Heidi, so when's it going to hit Lansing, Ingham County? You're almost there now. It's just 15 minutes away from Lansing. Deborah Jasmine, looking for Standish Pinconning area. Low end severe weather, low end severe thunderstorm. Heather is in the dark. Sirens going off in Grand Ledge. Yes, you are under a tornado warning. I do believe. Yes. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa tracking severe weather. Right now we have 3 tornado warnings. We have straight line winds with some rotations. What we've called gustnados in the past. There is your wind, damaging wind gusts that are occurring. Let's put the scope on it. You're looking at 73 mile an hour gusts. A little ways away from the radar, so maybe it's only 65 to 70. There's another one by Chester. So this whole area, pretty nasty, severe thunderstorms. Approaching Grand Ledge right now. Sexy Cat, based on how it's tracking, I tend to notice some weakening as it moves east. Port Huron area. Yeah, Port Huron, it will be weakened to non-severe storms, pretty sure. Kenny Walker, Flint, the severe weather alley of the east side of the state. It certainly could be still severe, but I think it will be less severe. Although, look at what time it is. We're at 11:30, and we still have tornadic rotation storms. Eric Martinez, Holly, you're 1 hour away. Warren, you're hour and a half away. It's in Mount Pleasant right now. Okay, now someone's saying new tornado watch issue. Let me check here. Okay, so yes, we do have a tornado watch. A new tornado watch just issued a minute ago. Thank you for the heads up, Truth Soldier Gaming. Whatever that is. Shan Cody, you got to relax on these things. So, a new tornado watch in effect until 5 a.m. for basically the southeastern quarter from Bay County, Midland County, southward into Ann Arbor, into Detroit. So what they're saying is that they believe these will continue into the east side of the state. All right, MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with an MLive severe weather coverage for you. Alicia Cooley, Monroe has a tornado watch until 5 a.m. Remember, watch means it's possible. A warning means it's been detected or radar is showing it. Robert Johns is going to miss Novi. Novi was just put into the tornado watch. All right, so back to the radar. And what you're looking at is the velocity mode, the wind mode, if you will, the gust front, the severe straight line damaging wind gust front is heading toward Riley, St. John's, DeWitt right now. In through Potterville, you should be middle part of your house or basement. Eaton Rapids looks like a tornado possibly developing. Eaton Rapids. Bear with me a second. I got to text my brother-in-law and sister-in-law in Eaton Rapids. It's hard to do with everything going on my phone. There we go. All right. So you can see a couple of rotations there, one by Potterville, one by Brookfield, southwest of Eaton Rapids. Definitely a rotation. That would be moving toward the northeast, toward Eaton Rapids. We come up into here. Another one. Around Potterville, north of Diamonddale, heading toward Lansing. Not sure if we're going to get a tornado warning for Lansing here shortly, but more than likely we will. And then also a wind burst heading toward DeWitt and St. John's and Riley. So we pretty much got tornado warnings lined up all along here now. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings. Tornado warning for Gratiot, northern Clinton County. And again, basically what is going on is these straight line winds are so widespread, pretty strong. So the Weather Service is issuing large tornado warnings for straight line winds that can produce tornadoes embedded in them, which kind of enhances the wind. So that's what you're seeing. So when I show you a county with a tornado warning, and then I go in and I can't really find an exact tornado, that's because they want to warn you on that whole straight line wind blowing through. And I don't want to say it's weakening. There are still very severe segments along this. So that's quite a radar. That is what we anticipated it would look like. And you get the good feel there that is just crossing the southern half of lower Michigan, northern lower Michigan. You're done with severe weather, I would say. But people are asking about Ann Arbor and Flint. They issued tornado watch till 5 a.m. So that should tell you that what they see says it could still hold together. And you know what? It's really only about an hour or less away from Flint. So these things are going to probably blow through a lot faster than till 5 a.m. Sirens are going off in Lansing. Now we just had the tornado warning issued for the Lansing area. So Ingham County under a tornado warning until 12:15. At 11:33, severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located along a line extending from near Potterville to near Eaton Rapids, moving east at 65 miles an hour. Be in Lansing, Mason, and East Lansing around 11:40. They're on the west side of Lansing right now. And Williamston around 11:50. Fire in Eaton County reports possible tornado at Lansing Road and Canal Road in Delta Township. That's according to the Ingham County Emergency Manager. Battle Creek's got multiple mature trees down. Okay, let's see. So here is your velocity mode on the radar. And you can see around Diamonddale showing 85 mile an hour gusts. Now that's a ways away from the radar at Grand Rapids. So that's up at 10, 15,000 feet up. Can transfer down to a 60 to 70 mile an hour wind. John C. Timeline for the Detroit suburbs, 2 hours. Between 12:30 and 1:30. R3B Rook, thank you for the update. Anything bad near Traverse City? No. Storms in northern Michigan are calming down. Okay, now we do have a tornado warning for Alma, for Gratiot County. Nothing that's definitive, just again, bursts of straight line winds. So you got your tornado warnings now. Now you got a tornado warning in Midland County and heading toward Bay County. Let's see what's going on with this one here. Let's see. Bay County under a tornado warning, northern Saginaw County and Midland County until 12:45. Let's see. The severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near about 11 miles southwest of Sanford, moving east at 55. Okay, we're going to look at that one here in a second. So it'd be around Midland 1150, Freeland 1155, Bay City 1205, Zilwaukee 1210, Munger 1215. Other places: LaPorte, Carlton, Gordonville, Porter Township, Crump, Poseyville, Willard, and Indiantown. So I guess I can tell you about in the Midland Bay County Saginaw tornado warning is that there are little downbursts that can be significant. It doesn't look real crazy, but definitely take cover if you start to hear a loud noise, a lot of commotion outside. More severe is through Ingham County right now as a strong wind burst is moving through. Let's switch radars now. See what we get. The rotations show up a little bit clearer in Midland County. There in the southwest corner around Porter, moving northeast toward Midland and Sanford. And then down through Gratiot County. Gust front now coming through St. John's, heading toward Ovid and Elsie. Again, all of these have little mini rotations along them. See the little spots of red next to green? Those are rotations. Not necessarily tornadoes, but on the straight line wind at 60 or 70, the rotation can increase the wind speed a little bit. Now here we go to Lansing under the tornado warning. Yeah, it's still going, honey. My wife's come down into my office. Are you still? Yes, still on. We got tornado warnings from Lansing area all the way up to Saginaw and Bay City now. Let's put the scope on this because the strongest winds appear to be in Ingham County. .60-mile-an-hour gusts probably coming through the Lansing area. All right, so let's get a roundup here. Let's get a overall big look. What's going to happen for the east side of the state? So there we are. They do not appear to be weakening considerably at all just yet. How's Wayne County looking? So let's go to that. Give me a second here. Let's see here. All right, I'm updating the high resolution rapid refresh, and since all of the action is now moving into the southeast, we're going to use a close-in sector. Let it load a little bit. Interesting. Okay, some of you may like this. Let's go to it. So this is the high resolution rapid refresh model. Remember, it runs every hour, and it's showing that the far southeast, this stuff will weaken and it'll stay pretty strong in through the Saginaw area. Okay, so remember, this is a model. It's been really good. One of the nice things about the rapid refresh option every hour is that it can take the past thunderstorms and reincorporate them into the forecast. So we're seeing some changes. So this is midnight, and that looks right. This is 1 a.m. Note that Ann Arbor doesn't get much, and Detroit doesn't get much, and it moves more into the Saginaw area. And then this is 2 a.m. It is weakened, and then 3 a.m. off. So what we would learn out of this, and it appears is that's the case. These southern storms through cold water right now are projected to weaken. So they're moving northeast. So maybe Ann Arbor, you get thunderstorms, but probably not severe. Yeah, Dan McCall adds, that's a good point on the safety. We don't have any control over that. Very, very good point. It's YouTube that interrupts with the ads. Okay, so here we are, just a big straight line wind event with embedded circulations that can be tornadoes. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. I've been with you for a minute. Oh, I don't even want to know when we started. I think it was probably, man, might have been 8 or 8:30, something like that. Not really sure. Heather Hall, you are officially under a tornado warning. I guess I wouldn't disagree with it from the Weather Service, just simply on the fact that these storms have been quite severe, but they don't appear to be super crazy just yet. Kate, are we sure Grand Ledge is calming down? Oh, let's see. This is tough on me sometimes because sometimes I forget exactly where everything is. Grand Ledge is still in it. It's just moving east of Grand Ledge at the moment. So Lansing out of the tornado warning now, and now it's still for Williamston, Weberville, Dansville, White Oak, Bunker Hill, Leslie, and it's in Mason right now with the straight line wind gust. Work our way northward. We have the tornado warning in Gratiot County, eastern part. Then we work our way northward, and we have the tornado warning for Midland, Bay, and northern parts of Saginaw County. Just investigating some things, make sure we don't see any sort of debris signature. All right, so Saginaw, you're under severe thunderstorm warning. Genesee County under severe thunderstorm warning. Everybody's going to be under severe thunderstorm warning as it hits your county. Just so you heed caution. Tyler Purcell, we okay in Ovid? You're still under the tornado warning. You've got 5 minutes before it's through your area in Ovid. Let's see. Heading into Genesee County right now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Hey, Paul Lalonde. Good evening. Hey, it's my job. Brad, is Lansing clear now? Yes, I do believe so. Let's take a look. I do believe it is. Yes, Lansing is out of the tornado warning, still on the east side of the county, and you are tapering down. Pretty much the storm is over for Lansing. Ann Arbor, it's coming towards you, but it's kind of draped back to the southwest, having a tough time coming that way, and the models show it weakening on the south edge. So Ann Arbor, you may just get a robust thunderstorm, not severe. Have any tornadoes been sighted? At night, yes, there have been a couple of tornadoes, but at night you don't really get sightings of them until the next day when you get damage assessments. Anna Davis moved back from Florida to Michigan, and she picked a great time. Yeah, Michigan, we get some severe weather, depending on the year. Some years are pretty quiet. Okay, 11:56. Looks like Saginaw County is going to have a tornado warning. Yes, there we go. So Saginaw County. So my neighbors, fellow friends, and family in Saginaw County are now under a tornado warning as well. We'll take a we'll take a closer look at this one. Again, straight line winds. They appear to be breaking down, but I think this is just one to use some common sense caution with. It's such a diffuse, widespread area of storms. Can't really pick out a individual tornado. Let's go in and take a look. So there you can see no, Grand Ledge is done. Daniel Ingalls, tip of the mitt, gets some light showers, light thunder showers. And I don't think anything is gone. Somebody is being overly dramatic. All right, so let's look and see if we can find any rotations in Saginaw County. What you're seeing is a gust front with rotations. Could be gust nados. I don't know what these look like, to be honest with you, in real life, because sometimes these can be worse than what they look like on radar, but definitely a gust front coming into the west side of Saginaw, and you see all the roughness along it. So those are our rotations. Should Saginaw residents go to the basement? Yes, I would say that you should. It's about, probably 10 minutes away from Saginaw. You are officially under a tornado warning, and there's a straight line wind event coming through. See if we can. You got the 50s, 50-mile-an-hour winds. up here you've got kind of a rotating area. Doesn't look, you know, really crazy, but this, just use caution. Move the middle part of your home as this is moving through Saginaw County. So we're down to 3 tornado warnings now. Well, 4. Oh, Fenton. Fenton, it's on you right now. Your first line, that's going to come through. And then the straight line wind gust front will come through. And since we haven't seen a lot of reports, I'm going to just guesstimate them at 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts. Okay, new tornado warning for Livingston County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was over Stockbridge, 11 miles west of Pinckney, moving east at 60 miles an hour. Let's see if we can find that. Tractor trailer flipped over US 127 near Barnes. Have a tractor trailer flipped over. Okay, let's see. Let's look at Livingston County. So Ann Arbor, Saline, you still continue to look like the storms are having a tough time moving east into your area, and the models want to weaken them. So I think you may escape in Washtenaw County without a whole lot of damage, as was anticipated all along. Remember, they brought these damaging winds up to Ann Arbor, which has been a good call so far. Very good call. Now, our tornado warning in Livingston County doesn't really have anything super, well, yes it does. Around Weberville, there's a wind gust, a serious wind gust. 91 miles an hour up at that height, maybe translating down to 70 to near 80 miles an hour at the surface. So a wind gust in the tornado warned area coming out of eastern Ingham County into Livingston County. Then we go up to Saginaw, west side of Saginaw, Brant, into St. Charles. Wind gusts 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. Some sort of rotation, commotion here on the front end of the gust front heading into Midland, Freeland, and Auburn right now. Worst part right now is this downburst coming out of Ingham County and into Livingston County. And you can see how the colors have enhanced and strengthened. Cobweb Harker. No rotation in Livingston County, just a lot of straight line winds right now. What's the purple? The purple is where the radar doesn't know what to do. It's called range folding. So it's just not working in those spots, basically, is what you would say. Angel Eyes lives in your car in Dexter? Oh, man. All right, this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, just continuing to track the severe weather with you. Every scan it changes. Get this idea that there's a gust front moving through Saginaw County. Interesting, they got tornado warning for Saginaw County. I can see a rotation now. We'll look at it a little closer, and then just severe thunderstorm warning for Shiawassee, Genesee County, and then back to a tornado warning for a big downburst heading into Livingston County. Ann Arbor, not. Washtenaw County, not in a warning. Okay, so around St. Charles, it looks like there could be a tornado developing. See it right here? Even the radar is showing the tornado signature. It's a storm moving up along the gust front, and then the two merge. So that would be heading north. It looks to be heading straight northward. Hemlock, Saginaw Township, Freeland, under the tornado warning. It's hard to tell what's going on in there, to be honest with you, because there's so much going on with rotation. So I would be in your basement taking cover. So there's rotation in here. Let's see if we can find any sort of debris ball. No. This track's at 1214 Swartz Creek, 1229 up by Freeland. I feel like it's moving straight north toward Shields, Freeland, Saginaw Township. All right, let's just continue to nickel size hail. Flint at I-475. Haven't heard much hail, and this had the potential to be a big hail producer. It was in Wisconsin during the heat of the day. Very interesting look to the radar. We have the gust front, the severe straight line winds coming into the western part of Saginaw County. There's a rotation moving up along that from St. Charles northward through Swan Creek and Freeland. Those are under a tornado warning. And then you go southward into Livingston County, and this bright blue strong winds moving toward Howell. Oakland County under a severe thunderstorm warning. And Washtenaw County, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Probably just a low end severe thunderstorm, perhaps. Let's see who we got in here. Genesee Township, crazy thunder, lightning. Music lingo, is Lansing safe now? Yes, it is past Lansing as far as severe weather. Tammy P, Howell, tornado warning. Yes, straight line winds coming through there could be strong. Sirens going off in Farmington Hills. Chesaning tornado sirens. Tornado sirens in Auburn Hills. All right, let's take a look here. Oakland County has just a severe thunderstorm warning. So you see the tornado warning in Livingston County, but just a severe thunderstorm warning in Oakland County. Jenny Wren in Bay City. Any rotation spotted in basement after warning alarms? Bay County has the rotations around Auburn and Freeland. Then the gust front sweeping across Saginaw, going to be into Saginaw here shortly. And then winds gusting strong at Lennon, heading towards Swartz Creek and Flushing. And still the strongest in Livingston County. Strongest downburst winds will be heading toward Oakland County, and still Washtenaw County, no severe thunderstorm warning. There is a severe thunderstorm to the southwest of Washtenaw County. So eventually you'll probably get into it. But it is definitely taking its own sweet time. House is shaking, says Greg Taylor in Clio. Yeah, I could see that. Vigorous thunderstorms. Moving pretty quickly. We'll be in bed by 1, hopefully. Sirens going off in Rochester Hills. See, Oakland County now still just under a severe thunderstorm warning. Midland County now cleared out of the tornado warning. Denise Kilonsky is Coleman in the clear. Yes. Down to 3 tornado warnings. Ooh, sorry. So tornado warning continues for Saginaw County. What the Weather Service says is at 12:19, 1 minute ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Montrose, 7 miles north of New Lothrop, moving northeast at 55. The dangerous storm will be near Frankenmuth and Birch Run around 12:25. Let's see if we can pick out anything in Saginaw County that looks worse than anywhere else. Rotation is near Burt right now, moving northeast, so it'll be heading toward Birch Run and Frankenmuth. Not a real definitive thing. This is the gust front with rotations, so a gust NATO might be around Burt right now, moving northeast. So Birch Run and Frankenmuth definitely, move to the interior part of your house, away from windows, into the basement if you have it, if it gets really noisy here in the next 15 minutes. Javier Coleman, let's see, asking about Pontiac. Let's see what is going on. So Oakland County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, as would be expected. Most every county will be as he's moved through. Uh, Pontiac, the storm's moving through you right now, and then you're going to have a break. Then you might get back into severe storms in about 15 minutes to a half hour. TJR, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Oh, Sydney Rife. Jesse Williston. Oh, let's see here. What do we have? Okay, so they canceled the. Oh no, I'm sorry. So right now, Genesee County just under severe thunderstorm warning. I feel like it looks like she's starting to weaken. I feel like we might see some cancellations here. And so we got the tornado warning here, eastern part of Livingston County. Let's check the velocity. Still a gust, still quite a gust. And heading eventually toward Oakland County. Quite a wind there. And remember, here's the radar, so this is almost a surface wind. 76 miles an hour. Howell. Heading east, heading toward Holly and Clarkston and White Lake. Awkward Andy says getting rowdy in Saginaw. Yeah, I could see that. It's very interesting signature in Saginaw in that it's got a lot of little indentations along the line. Clio has severe weather over it right now. Severe weather entering Oakland County, west side of Oakland County, heading toward Waterford. Wind gust. Now it looks like Washtenaw County finally has had a severe thunderstorm warning issued for the storms to the west. Saying winds to 60 miles an hour in Washtenaw County now, so that's kind of important. So what that means is the Weather Service is finally starting to bring down the winds in the warnings that they issued. Now, Ann Arbor, that would be, that's a severe thunderstorm, 60 mile an hour gust, but that would be a low end severe thunderstorm. And so we're starting to see it kind of ratchet down 12:30. We thought 1 to 2 in the morning it would weaken. So doing as expected. Bay County, you're still officially under a tornado warning. Saginaw County, I would take cover if things are getting loud and rowdy, as you say. Get to the middle part of your house away from the windows. Eastern part of Livingston County is still under a tornado warning. Freeland just got really quiet. You're just about done in Freeland. You're only a couple minutes from being done. All right, I'm going to hang on a bit. I think we're winding down. I think you got the idea. I think the next set of warnings are going to be just your general lower end severe thunderstorm warning in Tuscola County, eventually Huron, Sanilac, St. Clair County, Macomb County. Just interested in what's going on here in Saginaw County. I don't want to leave you. So now they go into Tuscola, Lapeer County for 60 mile an hour gusts. So yes, they are coming down. Yeah, Hale the Huntress, Hallie the Huntress, Unionville should be okay. Watching your questions. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Still 1,300 of us together. Okay, South Lyon. Let's see here. All right, let's find South Lyon. People have been asking about that. Okay, yeah. That's the gust front coming through with a little comma head, so it's pretty nasty in South Lyon right now. You should be in the middle part of your house. Could be a 70 mile an hour wind coming through there. There's the gust front. We'll be through you in South Lyon here shortly. Jade, Port Huron should be okay. By the time it gets there, it will have weakened considerably. So I don't look for anything really severe. Okay, now we got ourselves a tornado warning in the northern half of Oakland County. See what the Weather Service says about that. There we are. Tornado warning. Northern Oakland County until 1:15. The severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Holly, moving east at 55 miles an hour. Danger storm will be near Ortonville around 12:35. Oxford. See, Oxford around 12:40. All right, let's see if we can find it here. Near Holly. Okay. So again, we're looking for these little reds next to greens, these little indentations. Everything now moving more just almost a little bit north of east. So heading toward Ortonville, Oxford, Leonard. You can see the rotation developing there. Saginaw still under tornado warning. Rotation along the front heading toward Frankenmuth. Some sort of rotation around Cuckolin and Auburn too. Still officially under tornado warning. This is going to be very interesting to see. Also something like near Carlton, Zilwaukee right now. I think these gust nados are possible. Carroll, Kingston, Cass City should be, I think it'll be a lower end severe storm when it comes through. Ann Arbor. Yes, let's take a look at Ann Arbor, Washtenaw County. So quite a storm heading toward Washtenaw County as far as beefiness off to the west. Look at that through Jackson. So Washtenaw, get ready to rock and roll. I have a lot of lightning and thunder coming up here. See if we can find any wind in that, and we do. Those are 65 mile an hour gusts aloft. And a gust front coming through Ann Arbor right now. Just hang with me. South Lyon has a rotation. All these little rotations are enhancements to the wind speed along the gust front. I'm watching something come out of Jackson as far as straight line winds. Now heading to Washtenaw County. $250,000 without power across the state, according to the Weather Service in Grand Rapids. Waverly, looks like there was a tornado. New tornado warning for Genesee and Lapeer counties. So there's your northern Oakland County tornado warning. Now here's your Genesee County tornado warnings. We're here. Goodrich, Atlas, Grand Blanc moving toward the northeast, toward Elba and Lapeer. There you can see it. Probably actually is a tornado. Right there. Amazing. Was able to spin something up at this late of the night. Let's see. There you go. There's your debris ball. Right here. So it appears as though there's a tornado heading into the western part of Lapeer County. Heading toward Lapeer. So you can see debris ball. Moving northeast, tracking right toward Lapeer. So there's a tornado warning for Genesee, eastern Genesee County, out of the Flint area, out of past Grand Blanc. So you're done there. Bay County getting it hard now. Caught calling. Bay City. Essexville soon. Done at Freeland. Still officially tornado warning in effect for eastern Saginaw County. But looking like it's calming down there. Washtenaw County about ready to get a lot of rain the way this is lined up. Tornado warning for East Central Saginaw County is canceled. Harry Brown Airport, east side of Saginaw, gets a 48-mile-an-hour gust. That's not bad. Severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County, canceled. Now heading into Washtenaw County. Getting really loud in Waterford, says Jennifer. Definitely the gust front moving through Waterford now. So we've got our tornado warnings gone now finally in Bay and Saginaw County. We still have the tornado warning in Lapeer County. There was a rotation and it looks like it's heading toward Lapeer. Gust front with mini rotations along the edge of it in northern Oakland County. Washtenaw County under a severe thunderstorm warning, but the wind gusts don't appear to be too crazy there. Get ready to be pounded by a lot of rain. Just the way it's lined up there, it looks like you could have an hour of heavy rain. Saginaw near the country club, Sylvia Vallis. Let's go back to Saginaw. Yeah, you should be calming down very quickly in Saginaw. We're about done. I'll hang on with you a little shortly. Let's see. Tornado watch being canceled in the western half of the state. That's obvious now. Oh, Livingston County. Says sirens again. Shouldn't be. Ann Arbor, north of Ann Arbor, the gust front moving through. Doesn't look too crazy in Washtenaw County as far as wind goes. Just a lot of heavy rain. 76-mile-an-hour wind gust at Calhoun at Springfield. 72 Norton Shores, Muskegon. 70 Grand Haven. That surprises me. I thought Grand Haven would be stronger. Wayne County now with a severe thunderstorm warning. As obvious. 60, maybe isolated 70-mile-an-hour gusts there. Hey, Stan, thanks for sticking with me. Noel, is red bad? So, yeah, thanks for playing along at home. What I've been showing you a lot of times is the velocity mode, Noel. And what that means is red is wind moving away from the radar, and green is wind moving toward the radar. So they're neither are good or bad, but if they're strong, then of course they're bad. But that's how we pick out the rotations. Charlotte, Kanapaska, Davison, Genesee County. You're fine now in Davison. We have 2 tornado warnings left. Corner of Oakland County and Lapeer County. So I'm live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. When the heck did we start? Boy, it's been a while. Let's see. You're welcome, Charlotte. Sirens off and on in Novi. Yeah, you're still under that. That gust front is still moving through the northeast part of Oakland County. Yeah, Scrams, I like that. Hit that like button or the subscribe button. You know, best thing now that I got you here for everybody, the best thing to do. So, you know, you might just be watching me for the first time. The best thing to do is download the MLive app. I guess they tell me there are several MLive apps because there's some imposters. MLive is like the 7th most trafficked state local news site in the country. I think all our reporters do a great job. I'm their chief meteorologist. So you download the MLive app, then you allow notifications. Then what we worked out as a system is when I do this in the morning, 8:30 to 9:30, it's just a regular broadcast, going over the weather for 5-10 minutes with you. They'll send out a notification. So that is the best way to kind of monitor this as we go through the severe weather season. Oh, let's see. Yeah, someone's asking, is Novi okay? Gust front is through Novi now. So I would say you are going to be calming down very quickly here, or should be already. All right, so I think we are winding down. Here's what we got. Lapeer County, you're still officially under a tornado warning. It is really hard to tell if there's actually a tornado in there, but I think there could be severe wind gusts for sure. Northeast Oakland County is still officially under a tornado warning. Now they just issued another tornado warning around Bloomfield Hills, West Bloomfield, moving toward the east. Another one of these V notches, in the line of storms. So, You want to move to the interior part of your house there. Washtenaw County, you look like you're going to be okay. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it doesn't look like anything super crazy. Genesee County is okay now. Jackson is okay now. They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning. You're done in Jackson. Cobweb Harker. Is there a tornado in Flint, Burton? No. Okay, so storms appear to be overall in a weakening phase. Pierre County, you want to move to the basement, interior part of your house. Saginaw is fine now. Northeast Oakland County, if it gets loud, you'll want to move into interior part of your house. There was a rotation around West Bloomfield. That didn't last very long. Still officially a little tornado warning there. Washtenaw County, you're about ready to, Ann Arbor, you're about ready to get a lot of heavy rainfall for, by the way, it's feeding up to the northeast. Looks like you could get it for an hour. You could probably be a couple of inches of rain by the time it's all said and done. Slide up into the thumb. Those are weakening. And we slide northward, and the storms have fallen apart across northern lower Michigan. So I'm going to say goodnight. Be careful in these last 15 minutes, half hour of the severe weather outbreak. It's dying down. Once it stops at your house, wherever you're at, you're done for the rest of the night. Hopefully you sleep well, and I will see you back in the morning on MLive. Remember to download that MLive app and allow notifications, then you'll know when I'm on live. Take care. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This has been an MLive Severe Weather Update, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. We'll also have updates on if any tornadoes touched down, and indeed they did, and all of the damage around Michigan. Take care.